How about when you don't hit your goals on the other side, which obviously happens a lot in swimming? There's a lot of meets where like things don't
Yeah.
go your way, probably way more often than not.
When I have like bad races now, I go to the warm down pool. I give myself some time to just think about the race, think about what I could have improved, just like give myself some alone time. And
Hmm.
then I'll go up to my coach and like I'll have a good conversation with them. I know that if I stay in this like bad mindset, it might affect the rest of my races that I have at that meet. You're gonna have bad races. It's the sport of swimming. Like a good amount of
Welcome to where we aim to highlight inspiring people doing amazing things in the Swim Strong family and in the greater swim community. I am here with Emily Hamill from the Swim Strong Dryland small group team, who has had an incredible year and done some inspiring things. Before we jump into your story, Emily, we got to do our rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Sounds good. I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. First question, what is your walkout song?
Walkout song, Country Girl.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Are you
I
a
walked
big
out to
country
it.
music fan?
Yeah, definitely. I would say so.
Awesome. All right, next question. What is your favorite pre-meet meal?
Pre-meat meal. I'm gonna have to go with chicken parm.
It's a good
Got
choice.
all the carbs and tastes really good too. So,
That's a great choice. How about your least favorite event to swim at a meet?
oh, least favorite event? Probably anything like involving fly, I'd say. Just not
Really?
my thing to do.
That's funny. How about your favorite event to swim?
Favorite event's got to be the two back.
Two back.
Yeah.
Solid. What is your favorite cartoon character, or who is your favorite cartoon character?
Ooh. I don't know if is Stitch a cartoon character?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Stitch.
Good
Definitely
for me.
Stitch then.
That's good. All right, on that line, what's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Ooh, Moana is a good movie, I'm gonna have to
Well,
say.
there you go. Love it. All right, last question. What's your favorite thing about Swim Strong Dryland?
Favorite thing? I think just the people that I've met along the way and seeing them at swim meets is a great thing.
That's legit. The people are awesome, including you.
Yes.
And I'm super thankful to have you in the Swim Strong family and to have you on the podcast here. We hope you're enjoying this week's podcast. We want to take a quick break to shout out our sponsors. Attention, all high school and club swimmers and divers. Are you ready to take your talents to the next level and dive into the collegiate scene? Look no further than ACC Recruiting, your premier destination for college swimming and diving recruitment education. At ACC Recruiting, we specialize in connecting student athletes with the perfect collegiate programs that match their skills and academic aspirations. Our experienced team will guide you through the recruitment process, providing personalized support every stroke of the way. Don't let your dreams sink. Visit ACC Recruiting today and make a splash in your future. Dive into success with ACC Recruiting, where champions are born. Visit our website now or call us at 314-518-8844. That's 314-518-8844. ACC Recruiting, your gateway to collegiate swimming and diving excellence. Resistance bands are a must-have for Dryland. Elite Athlete Power Band kits are designed to give you a cost-effective way to improve performance and reduce the risk of injury. These high-quality kits last longer and are versatile enough to provide total body workouts anywhere, anytime. The levels of resistance are ideal for progressing youth athletes without weight increases that are too large. Go to the link provided on the Swim Strong Dryland website, click on the Training tab, and search Equipment Suggestion Lists and get your Elite Athlete Resistance bands today. Emily, let's dive right in because there's a lot of stuff to cover with you. So first, I want to just have you share a little bit about your background, how you got involved with swimming. Just kind of take us up to the beginnings of the sport for Emily up to where you are now and just kind of what that's looked like.
Okay, so I started swimming when I was, I think 5 or 6 is when I started competitively swimming, but like I was in the summer swim league, which was always fun. And I've been on a couple of different swim teams just like schedule wise and stuff like that. But I've ended up at Germantown Academy. It's a great team, great school. The teammates that I'm surrounded by and the coaches are always there pushing me. And just like going to swim meets is just my favorite thing, spending time. I get to room with my teammates, so like that's always a positive.
That's cool.
Um, But yeah, that's pretty much. I've just been on a lot of swim teams.
So when you first started swimming, how did you get involved in the first place? Like, why did you decide to start swimming? Was it something you just loved being in the water, or how did you get involved?
My two siblings also, older siblings also swam. So I think I just got thrown into swimming, honestly. I did a
Yeah.
bunch of other sports, but swimming just really stuck with me. I just enjoyed like the atmosphere that it brings and it's pretty good at it. So I was just like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
stick with it.
Yeah. Yeah. You are pretty good at it, and you made a
Yeah.
good choice. So talk a little bit about that, your recent journey. So you've had um, some pretty awesome successes in the pool. And what can you just give people a little bit of picture of your day to day, like a day in the life of Emily right now at this point in your career?
Yeah, day in the life. Okay. Mondays, I'll just go with like a Monday. I wake
Yeah.
up at like 5 a.m., go to morning practice. I drive now, so my parents love that because they don't have to get up either. So go to morning practice, do a set, and then I go to school, which is nice because I'm already there. Go to school till 3 o'clock, have another practice, and then I'll come home, eat some dinner, do my homework sometimes, and then go to bed.
Yeah, yeah, it's a pretty jam-packed day. So, and with all that in mind, so I think this will be really good for people to hear. So, where in that time frame do you fit in your dry land? Because even just that is a significant amount of time put in. I think some people it's challenging. Like they want the
Yeah,
results that you can get from dry land, but they don't make the time to actually do what's required. So how
yeah.
did you, with everything you have on your plate, how do you fit the dry land in? What does that look like for you?
So the days I have doubles, my school has like free periods where you just get like free time. So I'll go into the gym at our school and I'll do dryland there. But if I don't have doubles, I'll do it after my afternoon practice.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's dedication. So getting creative, using time at school and after
Yeah.
school. And can you talk a little about your experience with that with dryland? Because obviously you had some dryland background and from before Swim Strong. But what's your experience been like with Swim Strong? Where have you noticed some of like the biggest benefits for yourself?
Yeah, so I did another program before I started, but I realized that I needed more like flexibility and mobility because the more that I gain muscle, just like the more lactic acid I'm building up during my races. Like I've talked to my coach about this before. He's like, you need like your flexibility and mobility. So I think like just in the program, there's a ton of it, and I think it's been
Mhm.
really helping me since I've started like the beginning of this year. Like it's also starts to help with like turns and stuff, pushing off the wall, just like the little things that I needed help with is where Swim Strong is really helping me.
Hmm. And those little things are something that most people skip over, and you've put a focus on and been like, you're gonna get strong doing pretty much any dry land, but like specifically strong for a swim athlete, but also working on mobility and
Yeah.
stability and like little details that people don't really take the time to focus on. And but you do. And I
Yeah.
think that's something that's so unique about people who are really successful is that they pay attention to the little details. And so I want to ask you about that. Is that a mindset that you have always had? Is that something that has come to you like later in your career because you realize I need to pay attention to these little things. These things really matter, and I want to do what's going to make me the best? Or how has that mindset developed?
Yeah, so I definitely think it's, like, more developed, like, probably end of ninth grade towards, like, 10th grade, because I started to realize, like, I'm hitting these certain times, and it's gonna start getting a lot harder to drop time. And when I kept, like, hitting consecutive times, I realized, like, the little things, like, if I missed 100 in warm up, like, all those little things, like, really add up. So I would say, like, especially, like, last year and this year, I've really focused on the little things, and that's what's helping me drop, like, might not be huge drops, but, like, dropping little by little is
Hmm.
definitely, like, the flexibility and mobility is definitely helping.
Yeah, that's cool. And thinking kind of along those lines of paying attention to little things and growing your mindset, and that it's just a step by step process. It's not something that just happens overnight. I think people really too often will see stuff on social media and think like, "Oh, Emily's an overnight success." Like she just she's amazing, and it's like there's so many things that you've done along the way to get yourself there. Can you highlight though as like a highlight of your career? what's like been your most memorable race or something you're most proud of?
My most memorable race is probably my 2 back at NCSAs when I got my first trials cut. I, like, went into the meet and it was, like, in the back of my mind, but I was like, "I'm just gonna go have fun, like, I don't need to get this cut." But then I was next to JoJo Ramy, she's awesome girl. We walked out to Country Girl, I convinced her to play.
No way, that's
Um,
awesome.
and I just like the yeah, just like the energy, me and my friend or me and my teammate Carly, like, we were in the same heat, we were next to each other, and just, like, I swam the race, I was having so much fun during the race that when I hit the wall and I looked at the time, I was like, "Wow," like, I was, like, stunned. I look at my coach and I was like, "There's no way I just went that," and I got out and all my teammates, like, gave me a hug, and there's, like, pictures of it, and it's just, like, awesome to look back at and, like, watch the video and everything.
Amazing. That's an amazing moment and one of the big things that everybody works for, right? You want to
Yeah,
do all the hard disciplines and little things so that you can have the opportunity to celebrate those moments and then obviously like figure out what can we do next, like you
yeah.
celebrate the moment and then you're like, okay, now what else am I capable of? And I think if you can get really good at that mindset of like enjoying the process and don't forget to celebrate moments along the way because they're huge. Um,
Yeah,
but kind of always being hungry, staying humble, staying hungry. I
yes.
think that's a pretty killer combination. And it's something that you have. And no doubt that's something that has helped contribute to your success. And you also mentioned a lot of people being happy for you and with you, and even JoJo racing with you in the water
Yes.
and letting you pick the walkout song. That's cool. Um, are there people who have been some of the most inspirational people in your swim journey, like that you've always looked up to or have had a major impact on your journey?
Yeah, well, I've always obviously looked up to, like, Olympians and, like, college swimmers who are just, like, all over social media, but my teammates have a really big impact on me, like, they're so dedicated to the sport, like, as I am. We're, like, balancing athletics and academics. We come to practice every day, like, everyone brings a good energy, and, like, if you're having a negative thought, you just talk like, I can talk to my teammate and they'll be like, "You'll be
Mm,
fine, like, you can do this set, you've done it before, you do it every day, like, you can do it." And, like,
yeah.
obviously, everyone's gonna have rough days, but you just gotta remember, like, my coach too, he's like, "You just gotta remember your why, like, why are you doing this? Why do you wanna do this?" You just have to remember the bigger picture, and I think it's like, I would give all the credit to my teammates and my coaches.
Hmm. That's really cool. Yeah, it's important to have a village around you, a support system of people that really support you. Um, and if you don't have that, it's not that you can't be successful, but it sure is a lot more toxic and can
Yes.
hold you back. So really cool to hear that that's been your experience up to this point. And how about you mentioned that you looked up to some Olympians? Do you have anybody that you like fangirled over that you're like this? I love this person. Anybody that you really look up to?
I really like Regan Smith just because she's, like, a backstroker and she's an awesome person too.
Yeah, she's legit. She's legit. She's
I
always
remember I got a picture with her at opens, I was like, "Wow." I was like, "This is awesome."
that's amazing. Hey, one day people are gonna be saying they want to get their picture with you.
That would
That'll
be
be
awesome. I would hope so.
that will be wild. And maybe, I don't know, maybe that already happens with some of the younger kids on your team and things like that. Because whenever you start to have success and you make Olympic trials and you're doing big things on the national stage, um, people do start to look at you different. So some people, it puts a target on your back. For some people, they're
Yeah.
inspired by you. How have you dealt with that? Like being in that spot where you're like, hey, I am more in the spotlight, just not because you asked for it, just because you're doing a great job and people want to be like you, and people um or people want to see you fail because they're jealous or whatever it is. You get both sides of it. Success doesn't come with all sunshine and rainbows. So how has that been for you mentally? Like, have you done anything specifically to deal with that?
That it definitely puts a lot more, I would say, pressure on, like, I put pressure on myself, but I think just, like, overall, like, I just like, people know I'm a pretty good swimmer, so I think it's just, like, it's a lot of pressure, but knowing that, like, I'm inspiring, like, the younger kids on my team, like, when I go time for their meets, like, I'll be like, "Let's" like, I hype them up and stuff, and they know about me, which is awesome, and, like, I think more of the positives than I do of the negatives. Obviously, there's a target on my back, like, everyone's trying to beat me and stuff like that, but If they did, they did. I mean, just it's swimming. Like I love swimming, so
Yeah.
it's yeah. I gotta just deal with it. However, I go with the flow.
That's cool. I mean, that is something that I think is not necessarily easy, but it's important to just be like, hey, if you have a target on your back, it means you're doing something right,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
Like I've put in the
uh,
effort, and like however I swim is how I'm supposed to swim at that time.
yeah, being able to keep your mind on you in your race and your swimming, essentially not worrying about any of the noise or anybody else. Is that right? That way, kind of what you're
Yeah,
saying. So
it's
important.
definitely hard to do, but I actually got to focus on myself. Like during races, like sometimes it does get in my head. I'm like, oh no, is the person next to me gonna beat me? But I know I'm gonna swim better if I just have fun, and focus on my own race, and because you can't control what other people are gonna do. You can only control what you can.
Yep. Exactly. That's such a great mindset. People definitely listening to this right now, steal that. Focus on your race. Do what you know you can do. It doesn't matter if you have the fastest man or woman in the world next to you, or if you have somebody who's not even close to your level, or someone who's like on the same level as you. Your race is your race. And
Yeah,
that's a skill. That's a mental skill to have where you're like, and nobody's gonna be perfect at it, right? You even said sometimes I'll struggle with it, um, but being able to practice that over and over and over
yeah,
again, that's super beneficial. Um, and that's only going to get more challenging too as you rise higher and higher in the ranks. But I think as you do that, you realize everybody else who's an Olympian or gold medalist, even a Reagan Smith, someone as phenomenal as that, you realize they're just normal people too,
yeah,
and just as goofy as you, and been through a lot of the same life experiences. And so it's really cool to get to meet people like that. And you're like, wait, maybe I can do this too. Um,
yeah.
and so going to some of these big meets too, how have you thought about just going up against some of the best in the world, right? Your competition is very different at Olympic trials versus even junior nationals,
Yeah.
or high school state or a local LSC meet. How are you preparing yourself for Olympic trials and just knowing, yeah, I'm going to be surrounded by all these people, but I'm focused on me. Are there any specific things you're doing right now to get ready for big moments like that?
I'm not doing anything specific, but, like, I know that, like, I have to trust my training a lot. I've been, like, over the past year, I've been, like, my coach is like, "You need to trust your training, like, your training has gotten you to this point, and, like, you deserve to be there."
Mm-hmm.
And, like, for trials, I'm trying not to put, like, a bunch of pressure on myself. Like, it's an amazing meet, and I don't want the pressure of the meet to take away from the experience that I'm able
Yeah.
to experience, which is awesome.
Yep.
Um, and, like, maybe I will hit my goal, maybe I won't, but, like, I have the opportunity to go race these amazing people. Like, I just need to have fun during it is what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just, like, trusting my training. Like, it's gotten me there, and it will help me during that time.
Yeah. Trusting your training, having fun. I think those are so important. And if you're not having fun at a swim meet, I honestly think you're doing it wrong. You've worked so
Yeah.
hard to get there. Like, you should have fun. It doesn't matter if you absolutely bomb or if you crush it. Either way, obviously you want to swim fast and that's an added bonus, but your fun can't come from just winning, and your enjoyment, your confidence can't come from winning. It's got to come from within, and knowing that you did everything you could to be ready,
Yeah.
and you deserve to enjoy the moment. And that is challenging for people, and I wish everybody could just have fun when they go to meets.
I just know at the end of the day, like, you're not gonna remember the specific time you went. You're just gonna remember, like, the memories that you have with your teammates or the people that you met there.
Yep, for sure. And you have many more memories on the horizon, and you are
Yes.
going to UGA. You're a Bulldog, right?
Oh,
Committed to
yeah.
Georgia. So tell us about that. How did you end up choosing Georgia? What was that process like for you?
Yeah, so it was definitely a hard process to go through. It was stressful. It was over the whole summer. But it was awesome just to see where my work has gotten me, all of the time that I put into swimming. Um, but I ended up choosing Georgia because just the people when I went there, I just felt so at home and welcome by the coaches and all the teammates. And I still like talk to them like on a daily basis, which is awesome because I'm already getting close to them. I'm a year and a half out, but like I know
Yeah.
it'll go quick and it's just gonna be
Hmm.
an awesome experience.
Yeah. Was there anything like unique about, you said it felt like home for you. A lot of people use that phrase. Was there anything in particular that made you feel like that? What kind of set them apart in your mind as you were going through all of your options?
Yeah, so UGA was like I think it was like my third official or fourth. But when I went there, like I was just so comfortable with the people I was around. Like I was really being myself in front of them. And like I realized that when I was talking to one of the girls on the team, I was like, yeah, like I didn't act like this with my other officials. And I was like, wow, I'm like really acting like myself in front of you guys. Like I'm a
Mm.
pretty conserved person. I would say I'm pretty shy around people, but like at that time, like I was being like very outgoing and like it kind of surprised me like what I was doing and stuff, but it was fun. So I think just like the experience, like we were just sitting in their dorms and I was like casually talking to them as if like I've already known them for so long. And I
Hmm.
think that was what really like connected me to the team and the coaches there.
Yeah. Being able to be yourself is so amazing. Not
Yeah.
have to worry
I
about
just
anything.
yeah.
You can just be
Just
you.
felt like joy when I was there. I was so happy.
That's really exciting, and what I want for everybody. And do you have any advice for anybody who's going through the process? We got a bunch of people coming up who will be going through the recruiting process all over again, or for the first time, I should say. But something you've already been through. What would be something you would have told yourself at the beginning of the recruiting process? Now that you're done with it, that you're like, man, I wish I would have known this.
Yeah, I would say just don't rush yourself. You're gonna end up where you're supposed to be. Like if you see all your friends like posting where they're committing and stuff, like don't like think that's like you need to commit at that time. Like you'll commit when you are ready to commit because you want to end up where you like really want to be because you're spending the next hopefully 4 years there.
Yeah.
You never know, but hopefully you are. But it's just make sure you're comfortable with where um, you're committing and like you love the coaches and friends there because that's who you're going to spend like a majority of your time with.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great advice. Do you have any idea what you want to study once you go there?
Oh, I have no clue. At first, I was thinking like kinesiology, but now I'm thinking maybe more in the business area, like
Okay.
sports analytics or stuff like that. So we'll
Really?
see. Yeah, I'm really into like the sports aspect, so something involving sports.
That's really cool. What would that be? What would like sports analytics look like? What type of things have you thought about that intrigue you about that?
I don't know much about it, but my, like, brother is, like, in the, like, business era, and he really enjoys it,
Hmm.
and I am I was thinking kinesiology because like, I really enjoy, like, science and stuff, but I'm also pretty good at math, so, like, that's more like the business area.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of things you can do with that. If you are anywhere in that area, for sure, we got to make sure that we stay connected because maybe there's something with Swim Strong there. I
Yeah,
love
exactly.
the kinesiology. I love it. I'm here for it. And
Yeah,
the sports analytics, I'll be curious. I'll be curious to see which direction you go. And
yeah,
some something I think is fun too, even like being in the business world now. A lot of people love hiring athletes, and specifically swim athletes, because there's actually a book I was listening to where the author was talking about how like some of the lesser known sports where people were super consistent with, some bosses will specifically look for those type of athletes, like not your typical basketball and football players that could be like big money making sports, but like the ones that like aren't on TV all the time, and that you can't
yeah,
be doing it for fame and you can't be doing it for money, and you still showed up every day because you loved it and you were disciplined and dedicated and part of a team and self-driven. um and so I just think that's pretty cool. Like swim athletes are amazing. And the things that
yeah,
you
very
do,
dedicated people.
yes. So I know no matter what you do, you're gonna be wicked successful at it. But yeah, anybody in the business world who's smart should hire people who are student athletes, because
Yeah,
especially
I
women.
agree. I agree.
So if you're a business owner out there, listen, because these are your
Yeah.
best hires right now. So, well, what are some of the big goals you have on your mind right now, just in the near future? What's Emily thinking about?
Oh, let's see. Finishing out the school year with good grades, obviously. And then trials, it's a big one for me. Just like again, just experiencing it. Um, and then our team just recently won Eastern, so that was a big goal of mine. Um, it was it was awesome.
So cool.
And then NCSAs, but that's towards the end of the summer, so we'll see. We'll see how that's going.
Hmm. Yeah,
I would say the big picture is trials, though.
trials is a big focus. Yeah,
Yeah.
when you're setting goals, do you have any like specific way that you do it? I know everybody sets goals differently and thinks about them differently. Is there anything you do at like the beginning of each season, or is it more of like the process focus, or how do you go about that?
Yeah, so the beginning of each season, my coach Jeff, he gives us a paper and there's three different types of goals. It's goals that you'd want to accomplish like in practice. So like, I don't know, kicking like 3 kicks off every wall, like the little things. Um, and then next is like short-term goals, so like in the near months. And then the others are like long-term goals, like it could be like when you go to college, or it could be like a year out from where you are. So we fill those out every year. It's definitely very helpful. But then as the season goes on, like me personally, my goals change based on how I'm doing like that season. Like if I dropped a ton of time, like maybe I'm like during my race, I want to focus on this part, or like it's a time goal, if that
Mm.
makes sense.
Yeah. So some of them may be more like technical, and some of them be
Yeah.
like cuts, times, that type of progress.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. And I think it's important for everybody to know where they're going if you don't have a roadmap to what you're trying to accomplish, I think. Some people focus more on like the process focused goals, and some people love doing like the dream goals and times and things like that. I think it's good to have a combination of both, and it sounds like you do. Because yeah, you can have goals, but without the actual work that you're putting in to get
Yeah.
there, if you don't have the plan, they're never going to materialize.
Yeah. I think that leads back to like the big why of why you do your sports. Like those little goals that you're trying to hit is the why of why I do swimming. Like
Mm,
it's just the consecutive days that I go into practice and the little goals that I want to hit is what really helps
yeah.
me get through like those tough practices, or like when I have a bad race, like helps my mentality.
Yeah. Last question I have for you is centered around that. Like your love for the sport of swimming as you get to a higher level. Sometimes it's easy for people to forget the why and to forget their love for the sport because they get so focused on whatever they're trying to do. And it kind of becomes consuming. And I really don't want swim athletes to fall into that. I want people to always enjoy it. So is there something you do to help keep your love for the sport fresh? Just keep your passion at the forefront. It's obviously it's not just, it's easy to say, really hard to do, but is there anything specifically or generally that you're constantly doing to try to keep that love for the sport fresh?
I think it's just like if I had a tough practice, like I'll talk to my coach, like I'll talk it through. I think it's like the coaches and the teammates are getting me through and why I love this sport. And definitely like when I hit those goals, it's definitely like, wow, like I put all this work in, I've hit these goals and I can keep doing more. The more dedication like that I have for this sport, the more
Ye-
love I'll have for it too.
How about when you don't hit your goals on the other side, which obviously happens a lot in swimming? There's a lot of meets where like things don't
Yeah.
go your way, probably way more often than not. Where does your mind go when that happens, and how do you handle like failure, so to speak?
Yeah, so I think definitely over the past year or two, it's gone a lot better. When I was younger, it was a little rough when I had some rough races. But when I have like bad races now, I give like myself like I go to the warm down pool, I give myself some time to just like think about the race, think about what I could have improved, just like give myself some alone time. And
Hmm.
then I'll go up to my coach and like I'll have a good conversation with them. Um, and like I know that if I stay in this like bad mindset, it might affect the rest of my races that I have at that meet. So I like make sure I click out of that mindset because you're gonna have bad races. It's like it's the sport of swimming. Like a good amount of the time you're not gonna hit those goals, but just knowing that it goes back to like the love of the sport. Like you
Yeah.
have to love this sport to like keep doing it.
Yeah. No, 100%. Welcome to swimming when you failed 98% of the time. Like that.
Exactly.
If,
Exactly.
if you don't have the mindset for that, you're probably not cut out for the sport. And again, it's something you can train. If you don't have it right now, it doesn't mean you're not, but
Yeah.
not cut out for it. But it is something you have to train, because
Yes.
if you just wallow in your grief after every time you don't hit one of your goals, man, you're gonna be miserable. You're gonna be miserable.
Exactly, yeah. And, like,
So
back to
here,
what I said, you're not gonna remember the times that you went, like, you're gonna remember the relationships that you've made during the journey.
yeah, that's great insight. Emily, I really appreciate you taking the time to be on here. It's a ton of fun talking with you. It's a pleasure
Of
to get to have
course.
you in the Swim Strong family and inspiring myself and many people across the country. So thanks for all that you're doing, and keep killing it because you got a lot ahead.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You got it. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch a new episode each Monday. You can also check us out on social media at SwimStrong Dryland. If you would like to join the SwimStrong family, visit our website at swimstrongdryland.com.